outscored them 71-45 in the second half. What changed?
Our defensive disposition. You know, they were. I mean, you saw it. They were just kind of getting what they wanted. Our closeouts were not up to par. Our physicality off the ball was not up to par, and I thought that starting group, you know, in the beginning of the third, you know, OG had 19 points. You know, we made it a point at halftime. We didn't throw any water bottles, but we made it a point. And you know, our guys, we knew they were on a back-to-back, so, you know, can we pick up our energy? Can we pick up our physicality, take OG out of the game? And guys executed.
And then for you, Isaac, the contributions that he made at both ends of the floor, played majority of the second half. What did you see from him?
Yeah. I mean, possession getter. I thought his offensive rebounding really kind of got us going. And we didn't make shots again tonight, but you know, 15 offensive rebounds. He was a big part of it, and then defensively, you know, getting steals, deflections. I feel like he had a lull, you know, it kind of, and we weren't getting him a ton of minutes, and now I feel like he's catching his groove, you know, and has played really, really well lately.
Dan.
Yep.
I know the start of the game wasn't the best, but once you guys found that intensity level, is that what you expected to see from this team after having a couple of days off in practice and getting your?
And I was thinking, you know, when they were rolling and we were just turning over, like I'm like, it's like, you know, you play the game like 2 days. We didn't really scrimmage. We kind of, you know, I'm like, these guys look out of rhythm, you know, and so there's always something. But then I did feel like if we you know, we stuck with it with our kind of rest advantage, we'd eventually pull it in. But I'm really happy. You know, we won the possession game. You know, we didn't shoot it great, but kind of did all the little things, you know, playoff things to get the win.
How impactful has Donovan been tonight and lately in the little things category?
He's leading it. I mean, he's really leading the, you know, rebounding, physicality. You know, he's not it, right? He backs it up, and he's on the guys in the huddle, and there's no question who our leader is, and he's leading by example right now, doing the dirty work.
Joe.
Is there a guy or two, just the way they're playing right now, that you're really excited about it heading into the playoffs?
I mean, Ice. I mean, everybody, right? Ice is probably the one where, you know, like I said, I felt like he had a lull, you know, and now he's come back. I really liked Dre tonight. You know, again, another guy who would, you know, on that road trip just didn't feel like he had a lot of energy, and he just told me in the locker, you know, I got back on my routine, you know, and he's a guy. He likes to work on his individual game and get his kind of get his feet under him, and I thought he was really good. We played him with the starters, you know, that starting group, and that looked really good. He bailed us out in the first half when we were struggling to score, and created some stuff on his own, and it's nice seeing that lineup out there with that kind of size. It was he played really well tonight.
I guess the guy I had in mind, and Isaac was another one, but J.A., when you were in your streak, I mean, there were nights where he wasn't playing in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And now he's closing games out for you and making differences.
Yeah, he was outstanding. He's kind of doing it on both ends, right? Defensive energy, but making plays in the paint. You know, he's driving from the top of the key too. Felt like he had that big steal, you know, with the, you know, windmill dunk that everybody enjoyed. Yeah, I feel like he's trending really positive right now.
Mike.
This is an oddly specific question, but you guys have gone to a play at a bunch of ATOs this season. You guys did it again tonight, where Max comes off a little handoff and a pick and roll with Jared, and then ends up throwing the alley to Jared. What about those two work so well in situations like that?
Max is a great handoff guy. You remember the Miami days with Bam. It's just he knows how to hit, and then just he gets separation, gets a little push, and then he gets gets a handoff, and he's a threat to shoot the three, and then he's got the lob game. He can get down. That's some guy. DG's a pick and roll game, pick and roll guy. Don's a pick and roll guy. But I think Sam and Max are we want to run more handoff action for them because they're so efficient with it.
Now on the other side, Jared seems to kind of sound silly, but there's a skill in being in the right spot for handoffs. And
Yeah.
Drawing fouls.
Yep.
How does he kind of excel in that specific role?
Quite honestly, I think Max coaches him. Because he had that chemistry with Bam. He tells me all the time. I tell Bam how to set the screen, what angle to turn, where I want the ball. So, Max, he's talks, and Evan too. He wants Evan to do it more. But him and J.A. got a real good thing, and we actually put in two sets for just that specific guy actually to add because it's been so good for us.
Ash?
To go back to Jarrett, just that block he had in the fourth quarter against Towns, first of all, how difficult is it to pull that off with one hand where it's just man on man and he doesn't have any help?
I'll never forget in Brooklyn, the reason we drafted, one of the big reasons we drafted Jarrett is because his insane athletic ability. I was watching him stretch the other night before the game. I'm like, this guy's like rubber man. He had his foot behind his head practically. He's this amazing, supple. He moves so beautifully, and now he understands it. Being in the league, understands tendencies and what guys like to do and what they don't like to do. But he's kind of the unsung hero on this team, and a little bit everybody loves him, right? He's probably the most beloved guy on the team, Just seeing him make a play like that, and the crowd loves it, right? He's got a great rapport with the crowd. He's just a fun guy to be around. What did he say? Definitely played ethical basketball tonight. He's playing great.
There.
I don't imagine you've had to get on these guys a whole lot this season, but when you have had to say something, I imagine at halftime tonight was one of those nights. The way these guys respond when you have to be tough on them.
Yeah.
What's it say about the group that you're getting through to them and they take what you have to say to heart.
It sounds like they're coachable, and you say, well, shouldn't everybody be coachable? Not necessarily. It doesn't, especially at the pro level. I think sometimes, guys kind of have their way of doing it, and they do it that way, and sometimes a coach has limited impact. I always tell our assistants we have to be really careful what we give these guys because they're going to do it. Whatever we ask, they execute. What defensively, offensively. I've never been with a team at the pro level like this where you give them something and they execute it. They'll have dialogue if they don't like something you install or something new, and we'll have that dialogue. But once we kind of set the standard, they are extremely coachable.
Darius Lane was 8 for 15 tonight. You kind of feel like he's
starting to get it back. I
to
thought he was great in the pick and roll tonight. He's really dragging Cat out, right? Jay would set the screen, he'd drag him out wide, and he had the mid-range going, and the late, what we saw earlier in the season, a lot of those late dishes to J.A., where gets his eyes on the rim, and then last second dishes. I feel like he's starting to get his groove again.